It was early December. I went in to go pick up my belongings from my place of employment. And one of the HR managers, she stopped me and she said, Monica, how is your heart? Which is a very deep question, but my answer, this is, of course, my last time being in the building. I'm carrying boxes, or just one box, out of the building. And I said, my heart is fine. It's fine. And gave her a hug and walked on out of the building. Now, I was honest when it came to my heart for that company and that transition and happening. My heart was fine. It was very bland. It was given. This is not affecting me. The truth is, a deeper truth is that there have been so many things that have taken place over the course of the 12 months prior to that time frame, that transition, that change did not affect me like it would have some others. As a matter of fact, I had grown so numb being in the building that I was just doing my day to day. I was just going through the motions, doing what needed to be done. I knew my heart wasn't into it anymore. But of course, you get this thing where you gotta, pay your bills, and you desire to go on trips and savings and investing and all of that stuff. And so I held on to it for as long as I could. I realized that after leaving, I honestly was not in a hurry to go look for another job, at least not another 9 to 5. I needed some time where my heart wasn't troubled with leaving that place of employment. It had been going through a series and a period of time where I didn't have an opportunity to just sit and process everything that had taken place 12 months up until that point. And so I thanked God for the opportunity to get away from the job and actually sit with and process all of the changes that have been taking place in my own life. It's something about us where we just keep moving. Like, you get hit and you keep rolling. You don't stop, you don't quit. And what that does is, of course, your body keeps a score. And so you get stress upon stress upon stress. You get trials and things of that sort. And I thank God for those breathers and those refreshers and things of that sort, being able to catch my second wind. But sometimes you just need to sit down and really deal with things. And so I took this opportunity of being separated from a 9 to 5, and I began the process of finding me again. At first, my system was on repeat. It was on go. I would get up every morning at the same time that I was used to getting up. And I would get up and I would just sit in the living room thinking, what am I doing? All right. So then, instead of doing something constructive with my time, I started just laying in bed for hours. I just started laying there. Like, I don't really have to get up at 7. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to be anywhere. I don't have to feed anybody else. So I'm going to just lay here. And I would lay there for hours and I would have thoughts. But then I started doing some praying, and I would get my notebook and my journal, and I started writing right there in the bed, and things started happening. And I would get up and I would walk in the living room area, in the kitchen, and I would just pray back and forth. And honestly, I spent way too much time in the television. After, I would pray and read and study, and then I would turn on the TV and I would just flick it on, and I would take a nap, and I would eat, and I would cook, and I would go for a walk and things of that sort. Those are the things that your therapists tell you to do. I was doing it, but I really don't think that I was reaping the benefit of it, or I couldn't see the fruitfulness of it at the particular time. And so I would do it. And a month went by, Oh, wait, before the month went by, let me tell you what I did. So I left this place of employment, not looking for another job. And you know what I did? I took a cruise. That's right. I got on the boat, got myself packed up, and I went on a 4-day cruise. And it was nice. I've never cruising. How do you say it? I've never had a cruise with. I desire to say something else. I've never cruising. I haven't cruiseth. It was my first time cruising with Norwegian, and it was a solo cruise. It was my first solo cruise as well, and I enjoyed myself. There was a time of relaxation. I turned my phone off. Of course, I didn't have a signal out there anyway, and I just really just kind of unplugged. And so when I got back, that's when I started sleeping in a little later, doing the walking, and I thought I was just doing it just because I didn't have anything else to do. But it wasn't. I thank God that He used those moments and time for me to reflect, and I would reach out to some trusted counsel and mentors and things of that sort, and they walked me through. I had a couple of therapy sessions. I also had some people, very, very good people, that when things were really thick and when I would have those moments of uncertainty, moments of, let's be honest, of sadness, or, like not knowing what was going to happen next, going through and processing the emotions. I was, at times frustrated, mad, angry. There were times of joy, and I'm just happy-go-lucky, and I feel free. And other times it's like, what am I doing with my life? There were some very key people who I would reach out to as well. And they encouraged me in a way that I can't even explain. Like, how do you explain when you're going through something and somebody comes along and says, hey, I believe that I'm called to walk alongside you in this particular journey. You're my assignment for this season. And I had so many individuals come alongside and say, hey, you're my assignment. If you need me, call me. As a matter of fact, come on, let's go out for lunch. Let's go get some ice cream. Several people that would check in, and at the very exact moment when I needed it. I mean, like, I could have been bawling my eyes out, laying on the kitchen counter, and I would get a text message that said, hey, Monica, how you doing? What's going on with you? And it saved my life. But let's fast forward a little bit. Here I am. It is April, and I've started the 9-to-5 search again. I've started it because, the financial analysts tell you that you should save 3 to 6 months of living expenses. I did that. I didn't think that I would ever have to use it, but I've been using it. And of course, we're 5 months in. So time for me to start looking at some other things. And so I've been putting in applications, and yet still this desire to create is still there. I can't get away from it. I've done some videos, I've done some skits, I've done some short films, things of that sort. I actually done one recently, and I'll talk about that on another video. I don't desire to spend the time that I do have thinking about what else I could be doing as opposed to doing what I can be doing. And let me just say that. I don't desire to be like, I spend 18 hours out of the day looking for a job, and I'm not. But if I was spending 18 hours a day looking for a job, and I'm frustrated and I'm mad and I'm not enjoying it, and then I get a job, and then I start thinking or praying, man, I wish I had time to make a film. I wish I had time to start a YouTube channel. Well, what happens? Like, I have the time. I have the time, and I still have the time. Regardless of how much time has gone by, I still have time. And so I think that I'm going to be more intentional about the time that I have before I start another 9 to 5 or before something else is on my plate. And I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it for the glory of God. He has done a lot for me. I've learned a lot. I've transitioned a lot. Even in these short months, I'm grateful for it. And for his provision, for his care for me. The least that I can do is, it's a bumblebee, 2 bumblebees. The least that I can do is pour out what he's poured in. So, the call to create doesn't go away. I may have stepped away from it for a period of time, but it's time to step back into it. I guess I'll just be documenting what's going on this YouTube page, YouTube channel. And I have to fill you in on a lot of things because things have definitely happened. And we'll go from there. So I would like to encourage you to use the time that you do have. You may not have 18 hours, 24 hours out of the day to be creating, but use the 2 hour, use the 30 minutes to go ahead and actually put something down, just press record and go for it. And you don't even have to use a whole lot of big equipment. Use your telephone, your cell phone. Telephone just seems like it has a cord to it. So use your cell phone. Use your old camera. You don't have to go buy new gear. Use what you have. Get a little cheap microphone. Get something and start doing something even before you have the higher level of equipment and things of that sort. It's honestly not necessary. So to set up your phone and do video in your car, you get words from the Lord and share. If you don't think that your life isn't exciting enough, guess what? Nobody's life is exciting enough. But there's somebody like you. There are a lot of people that are like you, that connect with you. Nobody has your personality. Nobody has your touch, your sense of humor, things of that. They may resonate with other people, but your perspective is different and is needed and is necessary. And so as I encourage myself, let me encourage you, pick up the camera, go outside, make the content, post the video. Yeah, use your words. Get your own pen. As someone told me recently, and we'll talk about that later, but get your own pen. Let's do this thing, okay? Let's create, because our creator who created us. I dropped a nickel. He created us, and we have the ability to create because we do. Okay. I'm gonna go back in here and publish this video. Peace.